feel like the man. Niggas be hating, I know that they fans. But with the state, they know who I am. How you going up if it be your man? He makes me like to go. I can't go outside, no. Go on, can't run no more. Yeah, that is the past, though. I need my diamonds fall, but that shit on pause.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And this is today's video. Y'all see by the title and the thumbnail, we'll be talking about how to take inspiration from your favorite fashion influencers without copying their styles. Now, when it comes to fashion and clothing, we all know that inspiration is one of the most things that a lot of people misconstrue. So I figured I might as well go on and make a video, put y'all boys and girls on game to how to take inspiration from your favorite fashion influencers without copying their styles. And I know y'all ain't seen the video or heard my voice in 2 weeks, but YouTube started to feel like it was a 9 to 5. And if y'all don't know, I don't like working for anybody and I don't like working 9 to 5. So YouTube started to feel like I was working a 9 to 5. So I had to step back and I had to really figure out what route I wanted to take with this YouTube stuff and this fashion journey. But we are back. I'm not going to go into in depth on what actually was going on, but just know we are back on a consistent upload schedule. So if you are new and you like fashion, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that post notification bell so you can be notified when I upload another video. And feel free to let me know what type of fashion content y'all would like me to bring to the channel in the comments down below, because like I've stated over and over again, closed mouths don't get fed. If y'all don't let me know what y'all want to see, I don't know what type of content y'all want me to bring on the channel. But I don't want to talk y'all heads off too much longer, so we're gonna go now straight into today's video. So the first thing I want to talk about in the video is you are here to be inspired by their styles, not copy their exact style or exact outfit, because this is where a lot of y'all misconstrued the term copying with inspiration. Y'all think that copying somebody's entire outfit or entire style is you being inspired by them, when in reality you're just copying their entire style, or you're copying specific outfits throughout their style. When you're trying to pull inspiration from somebody's style without copying, you're supposed to be looking and analyzing their entire style. And once you analyze their entire style, you want to find key things throughout their styles that really stand out to you. And once you find these few key things that stand out to you, you want to write them down, put them somewhere, and then you want to go to another influencer that you really look up to and you really admire their style, and you want to do the same process over, and then you want to find another influencer after you do it with these two influencers and do the same thing over and over again. I done told y'all a lot in previous videos, when you're trying to pull inspiration from somebody's style, you want to be doing 2 to 3 influencers to start it off. And I say 2 to 3 influencers because you pull key elements from one influencer, then you pull key elements from another influencer, then the third influencer you pull more key elements from their styles. Then once you get all these key elements that really stood out to you throughout these influencers styles, you want to bring these 3 together and you want to mix and match these 3 different styles together, and you want to start to put together a lot of cool combinated outfits with a lot of cool different combinated pieces of clothing that you found throughout these 3 styles. It's like a big process when you're pulling inspiration if you're trying to be inspired by an influencer and not actually copy their style. So that's really the first thing that y'all really need to be looking into if you're trying to pull inspiration from your favorite fashion influencers. Y'all have to really come to realization that you are not here to copy their styles or copy their outfits. You're here to pull inspiration from their styles and inspiration from their outfits and figure out how you can revolve this around the style that you are trying to develop. I'm just putting y'all boys and girls on game. All right, now that y'all have identified different influencer styles that y'all really admire and y'all done took key elements from these influencers styles, the next thing that y'all want to do is y'all want to identify your personal style or define your new aesthetics. Now, I know some of y'all are probably looking at me crazy and y'all would think that it would be the other way around. You should identify your style or look for aesthetics that you like before you intentionally look into different influencers styles, but that actually is incorrect. You want to look through a lot of different influencer styles and really see which styles really stand out to you before you decide to look into these different aesthetics. And my reasons for me telling y'all that is because once you find the influencers that you really admire and you find things throughout these styles that you like and you bring those styles together and start incorporating different cool combinated outfits, this is where the aesthetics come in. This is where you start to look at different aesthetics and really figure out which aesthetics really revolve around the style that you are starting to develop. You get to see like which aesthetics really work with these styles that you actually admire and these styles that you are trying to incorporate into your style. Now, determine your personal style by considering what you love, what you like, what makes you feel confident. This will serve as the foundation for incorporating inspiration from others. Now, bro, this is like a big process when we're talking about influence from other people. This is what's really gonna separate you from the world, separate you from trends, separate you from fashion, and just put you on your own route and your own personal style and your own personal taste. You want to look at different aesthetics after you have already incorporated different styles together, and you don't start piecing these styles together, because once you start piecing the styles together, it makes it a lot easier for you to look at different aesthetics and really figure out which aesthetic will revolve around these different styles and these different cool combinated outfits that you are creating. I think this is one of the most fun parts about developing your character and developing your personal style, is defining what inspiration you like. You're taking the inspiration from influencers, you're bringing these inspirations together, you're creating your own combinated outfits out of these 3 different styles or however many styles you look at, and then you start developing different aesthetics that can revolve around these styles that you are already creating. And I guarantee you, bro, I guarantee you, female, you're gonna be on a route that you want to be on. Your style's gonna start to evolve, and your style's just gonna start to get a lot better, and you're gonna start to like where you are at fashion at that specific point. You're not even gonna be able to know how to explain to people how your style is constantly evolving over and over again. I'm telling y'all this from experience, bro. When I started to look at different influencer styles and pulling key elements from each influencer and really figuring out what I like throughout each style, and I brought them together and started creating different cool combinated outfits, then I started to bring different aesthetics to revolve around the outfits and styles that I already have put together, and it just started making my style constantly grow over and over again. And now we're at a point to where it's like my style constantly evolves on a day-to-day basis. Even if I'm not buying clothes at a specific moment, I still feel like my style is evolving at a constant rate just because of the steps that I took to get to where I am today. So like I said, the next thing y'all need to do after y'all realize that y'all are not here to take somebody's style or not here to copy somebody's outfits, that you are just here to take the inspiration from their outfits and put it into your real life situation, then y'all can start to develop and look at different aesthetics to really revolve around these different styles. And I'm guarantee you, bro, your style's gonna start to grow. You're gonna start to pull inspiration from influencers, and you're not gonna be copying their styles. All right, so the next thing I want to go over in the video, this next topic may have a lot of y'all confused, and the next thing that I want to go over in the video is going to be, just because somebody influenced you into liking something does not mean you have to buy into it. You want to buy things off of you actually liking it, and if it's something that you could really help elevate your style. That makes the process a lot more easier for you, and it just makes fashion a lot more fun when you're actually buying into things because you like it and not because somebody influenced you to like it. There's so many clothing items out here that I have been influenced in from different influencers that I like, that I didn't purchase into, because just because you like something doesn't mean it's for you. I always take the time out my day to really analyze specific clothing items that I see an influencer wearing that I feel like I could resonate with my style before I decide to purchase something similar or buy into what I've seen on social media. I always go and analyze these clothing items, and I come up with different ways that I could really resonate these clothing items around my style to really help elevate my style to the next level. And this is the same thing when it comes to fashion trends as well. Just because y'all see a fashion trend that is very popular right now in the fashion scene does not mean you have to purchase into this trend. Before you decide to look into a popular fashion trend, you want to go through social media and analyze how people perceive this fashion trend. You want to figure out different ways that you could really dive into this fashion trend and really use this fashion trend to really help elevate your style to the next level. Because if you can't resonate a fashion trend in your style and dress the way you actually want to dress, you're gonna strategically do what everybody else is doing in the world, and you're gonna be doing the same exact things, creating the same exact outfits, and you're gonna see the same exact outfits recycled over and over again. And then once a trend goes out of style, you're gonna stop wearing this specific clothing item because it's not in style anymore. And like I've done told y'all in previous videos, when it comes to fashion trends, it is okay for y'all to look into fashion trends. I'm not trying to take anything away from fashion trends, because without fashion trends, fashion would not be where it is today. Fashion trends make up day-to-day life. So fashion trends are cool. Fashion trends is the state of fashion. But when you're looking into a fashion trend, you want to figure out how you could really separate yourself from the trend, separate yourself from fashion, and go on your own specific route on how you're feeling this specific fashion trend or clothing item into your style. And my reason for me telling y'all to figure out different ways that you could really revolve this around your style differently from the internet and differently from trends is because when a clothing item or clothing piece goes out of style, if you have your own specific way that you feel this clothing item into your style, I guarantee you, regardless of it being in trend or out of trend, you're still going to be wearing this clothing item to the best of your ability throughout your style, because you're not worried about it being in style or not, because you went on your own route and you have your own specific way that you like to style your clothing. But I know a lot of y'all are probably confused, and a lot of y'all don't understand what this has to do with pulling influence from influencers. But a lot of y'all favorite fashion influencers look at the day-to-day trends and they revolve these day-to-day trends around their daily life, and that's how they start to create a lot of their outfits, and they start to inspire you to want to go out there and do the same exact things. But a lot of y'all misconstrue copying and inspiration. Copying and inspiration are two completely different things. Y'all get these misconstrued a lot, so I figured I had to go on and throw this in the video and let y'all know that just because you're influenced by one of your favorite influencers to like something does not mean you have to go out there and purchase it. Y'all gotta realize something, bro. Something that works for your favorite influencer may not work for you. And the way a lot of y'all pull y'all influence from influencers is y'all see specific outfits that they put together, or y'all see a specific clothing item throughout their outfit that really stands out to you, and y'all figure just because it looks good on your favorite fashion influencer that is gonna look the same exact way on you. So y'all go out there and buy similar clothing items to that piece, or y'all find the same exact piece that they have, and y'all go out there and start trying to revolve it around y'all style and put it together with different outfits, and the piece just does not look the same way on your body, or you can't come up with any ways that you actually can put this clothing item together. And like I said, bro, it's because not everything that works for your favorite influencer, everything that you see on social media is gonna work the same exact way for you. So you have to analyze clothing items, analyze fashion trends before you decide to purchase into these specific clothing items and fashion trends. And I guarantee you, when you find different ways that you can really resonate this piece around your style, it's gonna make the process a lot more easier for you. It's gonna make fashion a lot more fun for you, and I guarantee you're going to be making a lot of effortless outfits, and your style is gonna constantly evolve at a rapid rate. So like I said, bro, the next thing that y'all need to know when we're talking about taking influence from your favorite fashion influencers without copying their styles is just because you see something on social media that they influenced you into liking does not mean it's for you, or does not mean you have to go out there and purchase it. And when you look into fashion trends, analyze a fashion trend before you decide to buy into a fashion trend and figure out. And when I look into a fashion trend, I analyze how people perceive fashion trends, and I figure out different ways that I could resonate this fashion trend around my style and really help revolve my style to the next level, separating me from fashion, separating me from the trend, and me just being me. Is this a trend? Is this trend something that's really just gonna help me be a better version of myself when it comes to fashion and styling clothing? Or is it just another impulsive fashion trend that I see is popular at a moment and I'm only liking it because it's popular, but once it goes out of style, I'm not gonna have any use for this clothing item throughout my style? That's something that y'all should be asking yourself when y'all trying to pull influence from influencers, or y'all are trying to dive into fashion trends. So the next thing I want to go over in the video is stay authentic. Now, fashion is an expression of who you are. So when you take inspiration, make sure it aligns with your personality and comfort level. Now, I feel like a lot of people, when we're talking about taking inspiration from influencers, I feel like a lot of y'all don't actually realize that y'all are not taking influence or inspiration from influencers, and a lot of y'all are just flat out copying an influencer's entire style or way that they put together outfits. Now, when you take inspiration from one of your favorite influencers, you're supposed to be looking for specific clothing items. Like, focus on details of clothing items, whether it's a specific color palette, whether it's a specific texture, whether it's a specific clothing piece, or whether it's a specific fabric. Y'all should be looking at these little details and taking little details from influencers. And when you're trying to stay authentic to yourself, the only way that you can honestly stay authentic to yourself when taking inspiration from influencers is by looking at different influencers and taking few key elements from these different influencers. And I know I told y'all this pretty much earlier in the video, but when you're looking only at one influencer's style, this is when a lot of y'all tend to just strictly look through one influencer's styles, and you're finding certain things through this one influencer's styles, and you're starting to buy similar things or buy the same exact clothing items as these influencers, and you're starting to create the same exact outfits as the influencer, and y'all are thinking that y'all have been inspired by their outfits, and you're creating a whole different style or whole different outfit when you're just flat out dressing exactly like them. So when you're trying to stay authentic to yourself, authentic to your personality, you're authentic to your personal style, and you're trying to take influence from an influencer, look at different things from one influencer's style. Like, I'm telling y'all this from experience, bro. Analyze their entire style, figure out different things throughout their style that you actually like, then switch to other influencers and do the same exact thing that you have already just done. But while you're doing that, honestly, know yourself. Like, I need y'all to really figure out who you are when you're going through this process of trying to find inspiration from different influencers. Because when you start to figure out who you are while you're taking influence from influencers, it's gonna make the journey a lot more personal to you, and it's just gonna make it a lot easier for you to find specific clothing items that's gonna be personal to your personal style. Like I've told y'all in previous videos, whatever is personal to you is not going to be personal to somebody else. So this clothing item can be personal to your style, but your favorite influencer, it may not be personal to their personal style at all. So you basically just have to figure out what you like. You got to figure out how you can get on your own route to finding your own personal style. And while you're on this route to finding your personal style, you want to be staying true to your own aesthetic. It's cool to pull inspiration from influencers, but while you're pulling inspiration from influencers, you always want to stay true to your aesthetic, because staying true to your own aesthetic is going to separate yourself from the influencer. Even though you pulled influence from this influencer, you staying true to your own aesthetic is going to allow you to really figure out how you could style a clothing item that you've been influenced in your own specific way, how you could resonate that clothing item to your style, and how you could wear this clothing item on a day-to-day basis. And you're going to be doing your own thing far as what your influencer is doing that you actually like. So I'm telling y'all this from experience, bro. I done this a lot in the past. I done seen clothing items that I have been influenced in purchasing, and that I know for a fact I could really resonate around my style. So I took the time out my day to purchase a similar clothing item, and I figured out how I could really resonate that clothing item around my style and how I could really style some cool combinated outfits around this piece just by staying true to my own aesthetic, even though I pulled the influence from an influencer. So when you pull influence from an influencer and you know how to settle it in your style, I guarantee you, bro, somebody or everybody is not gonna know that you got influenced by an influencer, and somebody else is gonna get influenced off of you just by you figuring out a different way that you could really resonate a clothing item, clothing piece into your style that you pulled from one of your favorite influencers. So like I said, bro, the next thing that y'all need to do when y'all are trying to pull influence from your favorite fashion influencers without copying their styles is going to be stay true to your own aesthetic. It's cool for y'all to go into and analyze these influencer styles, but while you're analyzing these influencers styles and you're finding things that you actually like and things that you really know that you could resonate on a day-to-day basis throughout your styles, you want to start purchasing into these clothing items, buying similar clothing items, and start revolving them and filling them into your style a different way than these influencers. And I guarantee you it's gonna make these clothing items a lot more settled throughout your style, and you're gonna start to create a lot of cool combinated outfits. I'm just putting y'all boys and girls on game.
I been that nigga for real, I do this shit daily. None of this shit is a game, this shit is a game. My nigga, just say when you ready. All of my niggas bring pain, you ready. Make sure you know how to aim, you ready.